Okay, so before I get on with this video, the reason why I'm going to call this video something to the effect of ProtoMario's stupidity or something like that is not because I don't dislike ProtoMario himself. I do like him many years, and I have suggested that his Vilify video to other people, and that I do like some of his other videos. It's just this video where at best he's being a bit stupid and misinformed. At worst he is being purposely misleading just for the sole intention of spreading hate. Right, let's get on with this. So, let me just put this back a bit. So, about 35 seconds.
Might be a little bit of standard news, but I want to talk about why it's important game design and how you're designing your sprites and the individuals who are going to be in your game that are important to the game and the core mechanics and basically the backbone of the game. So
basically in this video he's going to say why it's important to have good character design. Now you're probably going to be like, but gaming, good character design is a vital part of a video game, so why is he being stupid? Well, dear viewer, wait till later.
What we're going to be talking about is the design itself of one Pokemon that recently was released, and that would be Lycanroc's Dusk form, I believe. Maybe I'm missing something here. I've just looked at the picture and I've just seen the reveal, and that's pretty much all you need to do when you look up this Pokemon to know that this is somehow a new form, but it is a Dusk form and it's colored orange, and that's cool, right? Perfectly fine, a new form of a Pokemon that you can catch, and the new Pokemon Sun and Moon, right? What's there to complain about? Except that upon further inspection, you might have seen it instantly, but if you're not a really engrossed Pokemon player, Pokemon Sun and Moon, you might have missed it. Well, hey man, this is just Lycanroc's midday form, colored orange.
Okay, now this is a part which I have a problem with. So as you can see here, Dusk form has Midnight form, you know, a bit of hair that has at the back of his head. But it's not like he has a side-by-side, where he has a side-by-side comparison, and it's quite easy to notice the difference there. And yes, it has a different berry colour because sunset is orange during sunset. And it has green eyes because there is a natural phenomenon that really occurs during sunset where there is a green flash of light. And yeah, I would say that if you came up and asked me if you would design a Pokemon that's a bit of a cross between Midnight and Midday form, I'd say something like this would be about right. I can maybe have, I would have probably said something like this, you know, maybe the body of one with like a couple of assets from the others, or even his tail is different. Like, his tail isn't as fluffy, as you can see. And as I was saying, you know, just like, you know, give it a little bit of the other one, and yeah, they've done that. They've given it Midnight's hair thing, and to be honest, I would have probably given it Midnight's colour scheme. But yeah, this is probably the best they could have done. You know, one of the best designs they could have done for like a midway point between Midnight and Midday form without over designing it. So you've got Midday as a base, throw a little bit of Midnight in there and give it its own identity. That's a pretty good design, and I do like the reference to the natural phenomenon with the green eyes.
Yeah, it really is. This leads a lot of people to...
No, it's really not.
Start up the debate once again about bad Pokemon design. So, as I said, this is the pilot episode. We'll gauge and see how well it goes, and whether or not I want to do more of these. But basically...
Also, we haven't even seen its stats yet, or its ability set, or its move set. So we don't know what's going on with it. So, but if you're just talking purely design, then still it's similar. It has the base of Midday's form, but it changes it up a bit and throws in a bit of Midnight's form, as I said.
This is Lycanroc Dusk form. Now, the reason that it's colored orange is very obvious. It's very apparent. A lot of people might not have picked up on it. They might have instantly said, well, it's just laziness. That's the Pokemon Company. Look at how lazy they are. Well, maybe that is true to a point, but check it out. Check out the background with this image. The sky is orange, and that happens when it's dusk time. So the sun goes down, and it makes the sky orange. And so it's very apparent and obvious why this Pokemon was colored orange. Of all the colors they could have chose. See, the Midnight form of Lycanroc is red and white, which I'm not really entirely sure about that. It would have made more sense for it to be black, but I guess it corresponds with it being more like a werewolf. And the Midday form is just gray, and it's the same color as Rockruff before it evolved. So there you go. Now, I play Sun and Moon every now and again. I'm not that deep into it anymore, but I'll tell you right now, I think a lot of the designs are 10 times better than what this is. Immediately when I saw this design, I instantly thought to myself, wow, man, did this Pokemon eat too many carrots? And
yeah, like I said, he's just hating on it for literally no reason, because as I've demonstrated, it is different from Midday form. It has a bit of Midnight form in there. It has a different colour palette, and it even has a reference to an actual natural phenomenon. I'm not saying it's the best design ever, but it's far from a bad design.
Turn orange? I mean, really, is that what we're doing now? And a lot of people would defend it instantly. Like, oh, you're just a Gen 1er. No, man. Look, I love Pokemon a lot. I enjoy the game a lot.
I'm not calling you a Gen 1er. I'm saying that you're at least misinformed, or you're blind. Probably blind, being as you didn't notice the bit of hair from Midnight form. But if you're blind, I don't know how you noticed that it was a different colour or even saw it in the first place. So, like I said, at best stupid, at worst purposely misleading.
I think my least favorite generation would be Generation 5, so I really enjoyed Gen 1 through 4, and I'm not saying Gen 5 is bad, I just didn't like it as much as the rest of them. And I really enjoyed X and Y as well. But in each generation, there are Pokemon that are poorly designed. That's...
Yeah, but Electrode. I say, well, I will give Electrode this. It goes from Voltorb with red on the top and white on the bottom to Electrode with white on the top and red on the bottom. But yeah, I don't particularly like Voltorb's design. Also, yeah, why don't you bring up Muck and Grimer, whose Pokédex entries say they're rotten piles of feces. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty bad character design there.
That's right, just not that well designed. In my eyes, at the very least. There are uninspired Pokemon. Pokemon used to be inspired by monsters that would be basically corresponding to the animals of the world. Insects, things like that. Sometimes they were inspired by legends, like Gyarados, Charizard being a fire dragon flying in the sky. You know, same with Dragonite. Legends, right? That makes sense. Really cool stuff, man. So you're taking animals, insects, and legends, and turning them into monsters that you can capture. Makes a lot of sense to me. It's really cool. But then they started adding in inanimate objects, and things that just didn't make sense. Like, at what point in time are we going to have the garage door open in our Pokemon? You know what I mean? Like, I joke, but take a look at Generation 1's Voltorb. Now, you might not know this, but Voltorb and Electrode are actual real things in real life that correspond to what's known as an Electrode. And depending on your area, it might be like you might be in the scientific community where an Electrode is used for something else. But if...
So you're saying that it was a bad idea to base an electric-type Pokemon off a real-world thing that we use for electricity. Now, like I said, it's not the best designed Pokemon, but still, you basically, you know that it's based off something in the real world. So it's just like, it's passable. Like, they're hardly that bad.
Like, if you go to a steel mill, they have giant electrodes that they use against the steel for a processing technique to create steel. So this is a real thing. And the same with Vanillox. This is an ice cream sundae.
Okay, nobody is ever really in the mood to defend Vanilla because of Vanilla Ice and its entire evolutionary line. But I will say it's not the worst thing ever. It's alright. I'm pretty indifferent to it. Like, Vanilla Ice, the first one, that's kind of cute.
Okay. Really uninspired creation. And unfortunately, this is a very uninspired Pokemon that happened to occur. People can like it, they can enjoy this type of Pokemon. It could be viable in competitive battle. Cool, right. It's an ice type, it's ice cream. Right. But uninspired nonetheless. And then you have Klefki, a literal set of keys. Now again, it doesn't matter what type it is, it doesn't matter if it's viable and competitive. We're speaking about design. So this is just a set of keys. Keys. That's it. Literal keys. Like, what happened, man? Did you literally just have keys on your desk and said, you know what, we're just going to make a fairy possess them? If anything, if I had to go out on...
Oh yeah, because it's not like you could go on Bulbapedia and find 2 other possible origins for Klefki's design. Oh wait, you can! Easily. Origins. Klefki is based on a keychain and possibly also the pagan tradition of blaming fairies for the loss of small objects such as shoes and keys. It may also be based on the superstition of carrying an iron charm to ward off Fey mischief. I don't know what a Fey is, it's probably some sort of fairy. Well, oh yeah. No other possible origins for Klefki. It's just a pair of keys. I don't know where they got their fairy part from it. No idea at all. All this is gonna steal them because of the keys, but I have no idea where they got the fairy part from. Yeah, this is another reason why I said either purposely lying or lying and just trying to misinform people in just so he can spread some hate to some designs that he doesn't really get, or he's just stupid and doesn't actually know the proper origins, and it was too lazy to spend 5 seconds on Bulbapedia. Heck, I've got Bulbapedia pinned up here, so it was just like literally. You can time this if you want. Klefki. Origins. Bam. What was that, 5 seconds? I don't know. You people would probably time it if you care that much. Is it really that hard to just look up the origins of a Pokemon's design? Heck, you actually did it with Voltorb and Electrode's design. So why couldn't you do it here with Klefki? Like, seriously. Did you just ignore its 2 other possible design origins just so you could strengthen your point? Enough of that.
And try and make a theory here. I would suppose that a lot of people feel when their things go missing, and it's hard for them to find, that there are fairies and imps and things hiding their stuff to play pranks and jokes on them. So if a fairy possessed your keys and it came to life and it went and hid and you couldn't find your keys, that's why it would be a steel fairy type in Pokemon. That would be an extensive theory that I could look into and speculate on. But at the end of
or you could just go on Bulbapedia.
Today, it's still a set of keys in Pokemon. Now, there are really terrible Pokemon designs out there, subjectively speaking, in people's eyes, especially in the Gen 4's evolutions for Gen 1 Pokemon that never evolved, and things like that. Like, you have Tangrowth. Tangrowth! It's a cool Pokemon, but at the end of the day, there's nothing different about it from Tangela other than it being a little bit bigger. And then...
Yeah, because Tangela has arms, doesn't it? Now, while I will say that Gen 4, I will admit it is my favourite generation of all time, I will say that Tangrowth is one of my least favourite of the Gen 4 Pokemon. But, Tangrowth is a basically better version of Tangela. It has all of its moves and more. It has a stat buff, and now thanks to Generation 5 with Eviolite, you can actually now run Eviolite Tangela. It's not like if we were missing Tangrowth that nothing would change. You know, we were not only would we lose our entire Pokemon, but Tangela itself would suffer now because we wouldn't be able to use Eviolite. So just by merely existing, Tangrowth makes Tangela better. So don't say it is pointless. You can say it's not the best design, but it's hardly pointless. And it's a pretty good pretty good bulky Pokemon. Like I've come across a couple in the Battle Chateau, and they can take a good couple of hits before they go down.
Then you have Nosepass, and the same exact thing. Well, Nosepass is designed a little bit.
Hold on. And now I'm just gonna go to videos. There we go.
Throughout the Pokemon's conception of them just being of Polynesia, this iron is they were to this day, though nowadays they are usually made of tissue paper and an elastic band. Number 5.
Right, Noggin is going to take this from here for me.
Nosepass. Now this one is probably a bit more obvious. The main design of Nosepass and Probopass seems to be inspired from compasses, as evidenced by Probopass's iron-filling mustache. And if you look at Probopass from the top, it's a giant compass. However, the actual appearance of these two Pokemon is based on the Moai, also known as the Easter Island Heads. The story behind them is the story of a little-known culture that flourished in isolation for centuries. Easter Island is one of the many islands of Polynesia located in the southern Pacific Ocean. Since the late 19th century, it has belonged to Chile, and its name was coined by the Dutch explorer Jacob Roggeveen, who became the first European to discover the island on Easter Sunday of 1722. However, nobody is sure of what the original name of the island was. The modern Polynesian name for the island is Rapa Nui, but this wouldn't have been the name that the natives used at the time. It's not even known when the island was first settled, and this is still an ongoing debate between historians. However, it seems that the Moai specifically were produced from around 1250 to 1500. So what are the Moai and why were they made? There are 887 Moai in existence, most of them carved from a soft volcanic rock called tuff. They're stylized figures with large heads, prominent features, and small bodies that are currently mostly underground. Their size varies, but the tallest one ever completed was over 10 meters in height. Many Moai were buried in the ground up to shoulder height, which is where the misconception of them just being big heads originated from. Their construction process is still shrouded in mystery, with it still being unknown how the Moai were moved from the quarries that they were carved from to their final destinations on the coasts of the island. It is theorized that the statues represented deceased ancestors, whom the Rapa Nui believed were watching over them from the spirit world. It was thought that the living and the dead had kind of a symbiotic relationship. Through making offerings to the statues, the living could provide the dead with a better place in the afterlife, and in return, the dead could bestow good health and good fortune upon the living. It is for this reason that most Moai faced inland, away from the sea. The sea represented the spirit world, and the Moai were looking inwards, toward the world of the living.
I'm just going to interject here for a second. And if you read the Probopass's Pokédex entries, it can only face in one direction, just like all of them were always facing inward, inland.
Nowadays, the Moai are very recognizable and have ended up in other video games, such as in the Eastern Kingdom in Super Mario Land, and as the antagonist Dole from Arkanoid. You can even roll up little Moais in Katamari. And of course, there's a Pokemon. Now, even though it may seem to some that it is only Nosepass and not Probopass that fits the look of the Moai, Probopass also has its design inspiration rooted in the Moai, as both Probopass's hat and the eyes are lifted from the Moai statues. It's not common knowledge, but many Moai do indeed have cylindrical red hats, known as Pukao. These aren't often seen because, just like most of the other freestanding full-body Moai, Moai with Pukao were knocked down and have only been re-erected fairly recently. Similarly, it was discovered that the eye sockets of the Moai were designed to hold eyes made of coral. Some Moai have had their eyes restored in this way. This makes Probopass a more sensible evolution to Nosepass, as Nosepass's design makes us think of typical Moai, while Probopass is the restored, traditional version. Number 6, Bronzor and...
Well, I'm just going to pause out there. So yeah, that's the design origins for Nosepass and Probopass. So yeah, hardly uninspired now, are they?
Bit more extensively than Tangrowth was, it's still very, very similar to its previous evolution. Then there's people who sit there and say Garbodor and Trubbish are terrible Pokemon design, but I think that
they're alright.
That just matches up with Coughing and Wheezing and then Grimer and Muck, and you get the whole trash family right there.
Yeah, well, pollution, not trash. Muck and Grimer are water, Coughing and Wheezing are air, and Shrubbish and the Garbodor is like landfills and all.
Trash! The Trash Man! If you know that reference, go ahead and leave me a like. There's very basic Pokemon design, and then there's very poor Pokemon design. Like, for example, Voltorb evolving into Electrode, all it does is evolve into a bigger ball. Now, why was Voltorb made to begin with? Let's think about this for a minute. Well, in Pokemon Generation 1, items on the ground.
Well, you've already said that it was based off an actual thing in real life, so I presume the thing in real life is actually a circular object, like a penny, or maybe even spherical, like Voltorb.
Looked exactly like a Voltorb. So I'm quite sure later on in the game development, they decided that, hey man, look at this. Voltorb, he could impersonate one of these Pokeballs. And that's why they stuck him the way he did in the power plant.
And that could just be a little thing with the color design.
In Generation 1, where if you hit the wrong item, you thought you was getting an item, well, surprise, you're getting attacked by a Voltorb. And that's a cool little game mechanic and a cool little surprise. So it makes sense why Voltorb was created. It was a kind of throwaway Pokemon, and I'm sure they didn't intend Pokemon to go past Generation 2 as they've stated before in the past. So it makes sense that it was created for the time period, and that was it. But there are other Pokemon that continuously get created, and they seem extremely uninspired to me. As I said before, some of these Pokemon that are uninspired.
I've already showed how Nosepass and Probopass are not uninspired.
And uncreative, and not really fun to use, in my opinion. They're there for a reason. Whatever. You can like them, you can hate them, you don't have to enjoy them. But I don't think crapping on these Pokemon designs is the right thing to do.
That's what you've been doing this entire video, is just crapping all over them. So, biased much? We have a saying. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You can't just say, oh, we shouldn't be shitting all over these designs after you just finished shitting over all the designs without doing a lick of research into their origins.
So, does Lycanroc's dusk form look like he had a little bit too much orange juice, just a little bit too much of that carrot in his diet? Yeah, that's absolutely true. And the sprite swap, or it's not considered a sprite anymore, but basically the 3D rendering image of the Lycanroc right there is the same thing as the midday forms. I mean...
No, it's not. You've got a side-by-side comparison. Do you even watch your own video? Dude.
It just is. It doesn't look anything special. And even in its variants for sun and moon, you can see the differences in its design, but it's the same exact design as the midday form. It's just a carbon copy and paste. And I'm quite sure there's minuscule and minute differences, but it's not different enough like the midnight form to stop people from clowning on it. I love me the Pokemon Company. I'm never going to stop loving Pokemon either, because thanks to Pokemon, I don't have to be up in a factory slaving away breaking my back and my body down just to make $1. I can sit here and make videos speculating and talking about Pokemon for you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave me a like, and please make sure to share this with other people.
Like I said, it's poorly researched at best, poorly researched and stupid at best, deliberately misleading at worst. Like, I'll give him my Volta when Electrode, they're a bit lazy, and to be honest, they weren't expecting them to be around for a long time, so they didn't put much effort into it. And it was only a small team of people, so it's just like, it's passable. Vanillux and Vanillice's evolutionary line, not the worst. I mean, yeah, I've seen there are worse designs out there that where they don't just make me just at least they don't make me go out of mere thought of them, like Mug and Grimer kind of do, because they're literally rotting pile of feces, which if you don't know is literally shit. What they're rotting piles of literal shit. Yeah. So. And I'll give him like Tangrowth is not a carbon copy. It's just like, yeah, it's a bigger pile of vines, and it is just basically a better Tangler that's a bit bigger. Your point is like it's hardly useless. Like it's pretty good bulky in battle. The design, like I said, it doesn't make me revile in horror or make me want to throw up at the thought of it. It's just like, what is the problem with it? It's like, I guess it's not the best, it's not like a bad design. Well, I said, and the entire video just goes on shitting on all these designs, and it's like, we really should shit on these designs, guys. And it's just like, I mean, that's so stupid. Like, before I go, I'm just gonna say, I'm not making this video because I hate ProtoMario again. I actually like him, and I like his videos. The reason why I'm making this video is because I like his videos, and I want him to be good. I don't want him making poorly thought out videos like this one. Actually, while I'm here, let's go back to Bulbapedia. Tangela. L505. Tangrowth. Origin. It is based on vines. Considering Tangrowth's shaggy appearance, Tangrowth may be based on exaggerated concepts of a shaggy caveman. It may also be based on a green man, a motif that is represented as a face surrounded by leaves and vines. Its appearance and behavior also matches that of the Bornean orangutan. Forgive me, the screen's a bit far away. And it's a bit, and where's the tiny play? Zoom in. Hold on. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, orangutan and Samaritan orangutan. So yeah, it's based off legend. So yeah, hardly unoriginal. Let's see. What is Tangler based on? Because someone might go down in the comments. Oh, it's just based off the same thing as Tangler. Origin. Tangler is likely based off a ground of Greek mythology, who had a head of snake, Medusa of Georgian of Greek mythology. So yeah, it's based off Medusa. Here's some information down. The tentacles on Tangler, however, are vines. Its crystal spine shows it curling it. Spine shows it curling into a ball, meaning it may also have design elements in the tumbleweed or bird cage plants. It may also be based on a green man, a motifa that is represented as a face surrounded by leaves and vines. So it has a couple more possible origins. So yeah, quick search on Bulbapedia just completely destroys this entire argument, along with a YouTube video by Noggin. Yeah, that when you have when it's that bad, that is just like you might as well just be doing a Google search to disprove his argument, because it might as well. Bulbapedia is just basically Google for Pokemon. You know, just like, why did you even make this video? And if ProtoMario actually does see this video, I just want to say to him, next time, research your video better. Like, I can poke holes in this with barely even trying. In 5 minutes, I can destroy your entire argument on Bulbapedia. When your argument is that bad, you really just need to look at it, do more research, and rethink what you're going to say. And at that, I'm going to end the video here. Bye bye.